It leaves no stone unturned. It asks the hard questions. It uncovers every secret that's worth uncovering. Liberia's upliftment is its prime objective. The program is nothing to hide. It digs deep into the minds of the guests and brings out the facts. Nothing to hide. It window dresses no issue. It sees no sacred cow. It believes that a government or nation of the people must not work in secrecy. It's on Sky 107.1, Monday to Friday, 3 to 4 o'clock p.m. If we love Liberia, we will be sincere in our dealings with one another. It leaves no stone unturned. It asks the hard questions. It uncovers every secret that's worth uncovering. Liberia's upliftment is its prime objective. The program is nothing to hide. It digs deep into the minds of the guests and brings out the facts. Nothing to hide. It window dresses no issue. It sees no sacred cow. It believes that a government or nation of the people must not work in secrecy. It's on Sky 107.1, Monday to Friday, 3 to 4 o'clock p.m. If we love Liberia, we will be sincere in our dealings with one another.
Afternoon and a pleasant welcome to another interesting edition of the program, Nothing to Hide on Sky 107.1. My name is Matthias Labindi. Welcoming you on today's edition of the program. We are going to be speaking with Councillor Jerome Verdier, former chairman of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Councillor Verdier is one of the witnesses that appeared on the Congressional Conference with the Tom Lato's Human Rights Commission. Councillor Verdier is an advocate for the establishment of war and economic crimes court in Liberia. Councillor Verdier is one who sat down and listened to testimonies from people who participated in the 14 years of civil war, as well as victims who went there to give their testimonies. So he's versed with the legal intricacies of this entire war crimes court thing. We're getting information that the Liberian Senate is requesting President George Weah to set up a transitional justice commission to investigate the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report. My name is Matthias Labindi. Today is the 23rd of June, 2021, and I'm going to be right back after this break. That's right. You're listening to Nothing to Hide on Sky 107.1. And this afternoon, we're going to be speaking with Councillor Jerome Verdier. Councillor Jerome Verdier is our guest this afternoon. By the way, today, the 23rd of June, is International Day against victims of torture. All right. So as we are observing, that is the United Nations holiday, by the way. As that day has been observed internationally, back here in Liberia, Liberians are yearning for a court that will give them justice. Like you listen to, you see the mountain, Kapi, who also appeared on the Congressional Conference, she was keen about, how people are dying without getting justice for, you know, actions that were taken against them, against their family members during the 14 years of civil crisis. How people, are living and watching their abusers, their predators, languishing here, and they are living large, they are living, like in luxurious life because of the fact that there's been no justice whatsoever. So many people for this thing for so many reasons. Some believe that when war and economic crimes courts come to Liberia, it's going to ensure that we get back everything that was taken away from us as a people who are in the country, who are living deserve because they live in those lives because of the fact that the system, they did not work honestly for what they have. So therefore, they're enjoying themselves. So when you talk about economic crimes code, some of them jitter, some of them feel that when that code is established, it is at that time whistleblowers will be more interested in doing investigation because they know that at the end result they're going to get victory when they come up with factual information about someone regarding corruption and that person is prosecuted. And we must have some rigid measures in ensuring that those who will be caught in any corruption matter, in a corruption thing, they should be prosecuted. After their prosecution, their asset and all the store and everything they own should be confiscated and be given to the state. And charity, give it to charity as well, so that the nation can get back double. Remember when Jesus Christ met the tax collector? He said, all those you took money from, you have to give it to them 3 times. He said 3 times. Those of you who, understand that verse in the Bible very well, right? So give back to the people. So if you steal from a nation and the economic crimes code is established, then you're found guilty of any corruption matter, corruption crime, then we certainly just have to take everything that you have. You, by the way, you were not a good character, so that's your punishment. While we are looking at that, tomorrow also is going to be a march, a peaceful march where you know that the Bar Association has organized a march, and this march is going to be taking place. And Councillor Gonglo Tiawong, head of the Bar Association, and the Bar Association is going to be carrying out that particular march. So it's very, very important that we hear from them too what they're going to be doing tomorrow, how they're going to do that. And while that is going on, the information is that they're going to be submitting a legislation. They're going to be, because they are legal luminaries. They have crafted a fine document, a fine legislation that they're going to be giving to the national legislature, a guideline, a procedure, how this process should go about. So when that happens tomorrow, maybe right now, I think maybe we are almost at the edge. We are almost at the edge of establishing war and economic crimes court. We're going to take a break and be right back. My name is Matthias Labindi. You're listening to Nothing to Hide on Sky 107.1. And that's right. You're listening to Nothing to Hide on Sky 107.1. We are here Monday to Friday, um, 3 to 4 o'clock. Today is the 23rd of June, 2021. And we just received this unfortunate, information from Councillor Jerome Verdier. He just sent us information that he just got seriously engaged, with some other things beyond his expectation, so he will not be able now to speak with us. Besides, he's driving now, he needs to respond to something. So it's about the war crimes code, and I was just going through something. There's this article I was just looking at right now in the Front Page Africa newspaper, and it's talking about the Senate requesting President George Weah to set up a transitional justice commission to ensure that the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report can be investigated. It should be investigated so that and know exactly what is in it before it can go about. Maybe the government can consider establishing this war and economic crimes court in Liberia. So in the end, the whole thing is going to end up with the legislature. All of the discussion that we're having now, the by association assembly tomorrow, all of that going to end up, with the legislature. Because when we get done with everything, what is going to happen is that you have to do a law. You have to pass it into law. That is a law that this code is established. Every code is established by law. So I'm going to read this article. It's a bit lengthy, but I'm going to read it. That's going to fit in for our discussion this afternoon. So it says here, Liberian Senate wants President George Weah to set up a transitional justice commission to investigate the Truth and Reconciliation report. It says Liberian Senate has advised President Weah to set up a transitional justice commission that will analyze and investigate the findings of the final report of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission amid adverse public opinion on whether or not to implement the recommendations of the report and the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court. In the past few years, and since the sitting of the 54th legislature and inauguration of President George Weah, there have been updates of how the implementation of the TRC report. One group has been calling for the establishment of a War and Economic Crimes Court to prosecute those who committed heinous crimes during the civil crisis, while on the other hand, another group of Liberians are calling for a palaver hot mechanism through which the perpetrators and victims will be brought face to face. The TRC report contains many major findings on the root causes of the conflict, the impact of the conflict on women, children, and the generality of the Liberian society, responsibility for the massive commission of gross human rights violations and violations of international human rights law, as well as egregious domestic law violations. On September 12, 2019, President George Weah wrote the Senate requesting the body to advise on how to proceed with the implementation of the report of the TRC. The leadership of the Senate stated that it reviewed the request of President Weah under the framework and scope review of the Accra Comprehensive Peace Accord or Agreement, signed by all warring factions and political parties on August 12, 2003. The Accra Comprehensive Agreement's cardinal purpose was to provide a forum that will address issues of impunity as well as opportunity for both the victims and perpetrators of human rights violations to share their experiences in order to get a clear picture of the past to facilitate genuine healing and reconciliation. The Senate's review of the President's request also took into consideration the act establishing the TRC, steps taken by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration of the TRC, an act of legislation granting amnesty to all participants of the civil crisis and criminal liabilities and responsibilities. The issues arising for the TRC, um, Supreme Court opinion on some of the issues arising from the TRC, review of some international precedents regarding transitional justice, such as South Africa model and the Sierra Leonean conflict or civil conflict. Other yardstick used by the Senate include a dissenting report filed by some of the commissioners of the TRC and issues of whether restorative justice or retributive justice should be meted out to perpetrators of crimes during the course of Liberia's civil crisis. The Senate noted that the TRC report in section 43 indicates that the TRC shall submit a final report containing recommendations at the end of its tenure to the National Legislature for the purpose of review to ensure there was no biases and conflict with provisions of the Liberian Constitution and statutes, and to have people's representatives in the healing, reconciliation, and accountability process. The recommendations. The Senate's recommendations to President Weah include the establishment of a transitional justice to determine why the TRC recommendations have not been fully and timely implemented, to determine whether the TRC fully complied with its mandate, such as face-to-face meeting between perpetrators of crimes and other offenses and their respective victims, to examine the effect of the August 2003 Act of Legislature, which granted general amnesty to all participants of the civil crisis, to analyze credibility and legitimacy issues surrounding the final report of the TRC in respect of the fact that four of the commissioners had serious issues with the report, and consequently, two of the commissioners did not sign the final report, but instead presented a dissenting report. To examine the effect of the ratification and accession of Liberia to the Rome Statute in 2004, after the end of the civil crisis, on the establishment of War Crimes Court. To consider the separation of the establishment of War Crimes Court, which has international dimension, from the establishment of an Economic Crimes Court, which already exists within the Liberia's judiciary, and for which prosecution can take place using domestic law. To consider the effect of the constitutional and other legal implications of prosecuting war crimes at a war crimes court when domestic laws and criminal court for the same offenses exist, and to also consider the constitutional implementations of appeals from the decision from a war crimes court, as the Constitution provides that the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of all legal proceedings, and every person has absolute and unfettered right of appeal to the Supreme Court to review the work and recommendations of the TRC when necessary, and make additional recommendations when necessary, such as how far back in Liberia's history should the transitional justice process go, and to plan and implement programs and activities to solicit the opinion of the majority of Liberians on the issue of retributive justice versus restorative justice, War Crimes Court, South African style Truth and Reconciliation Commission, etc. The Senate also recommended that the Transitional Justice Commission establishment should be enacted into law. The Senate's leadership further recommended that the President should, without delay, continue the Palava Hut, the National Palava Hut program, and accountability and a traditional dispute resolution mechanism to foster healing and reconciliation within communities across the country. The recommendations also called on the Liberian government to establish a reparation trust fund. This would be used for restoring victims and communities worst affected by the conflict. It will help provide psychosocial relief for victims suffering from psychosocial and physical scars of the war and other community-based reparation programs as indicated in the TRC report. The president is also advised to, in line with the TRC recommendation, offer an official apology on behalf of the state to the thousands of victims and the Liberian people in general for its role in the long conflict and for the inquiries and the injuries, by the way, and losses suffered by individuals and communities as consequences of the severe crisis. Did I get this one right? Let me get that over. The president is also advised to, in line with the TRC recommendation, offer an official apology. So the president should offer an official apology. So, what are your thoughts on this particular, article? The decision of the recommendations provided by the Liberian Senate to the president. It's been since 2019, right? The president communicated with the Liberian Senate to advise him how to go about establishing the War Crimes Code. You just listen to what the Senate has provided to the president. The Senate has provided something to the president that is very, very important. They're saying that there is a need that you consider establishing this Transitional Justice Commission. Is that it also indicated that by establishing another court exclusively by economic crimes court? Corruption can be prosecuted in our courts here. Under our jurisprudence, corruption is prosecuted here. So the Liberian law, under the law, corruption is prohibited. So if you're caught, if someone is caught stealing, they can be prosecuted. What extra power, in my mind, drawing analysis from that particular line, in other words, deductively, what extra power is this economic crimes code going to get that the existing courts do not have now to prosecute corruption? Provided if the government decides to maintain the same judges, that most of them already have stigma, most of them are already tainted, except the president decides to maintain the same judges on the bench at the economic crimes court. That's the only way it's not going to be different from the existing courts in the country. But that's exclusively for economic crimes. It's going to be a basic code though, because from what I'm seeing now, that code is certainly going to be a basic code because whistleblowers going to now have the energy. That is a way of arming people to ensure that they conduct private investigations about people and at the same time bring this information to the relevant authorities for onward prosecution. So to also talk about, yes, the main one is the transitional justice thing. Now, they are also asking the president, encouraging the president to continue with the Palava Hut, the National Palava Hut discussion or dialogue. So is the Senate saying to the president that there should be no need for the establishment of War Crimes Court, given that all these recommendations I've just read? I can go on and on and on and go over it again and read because it's very simple. It's very simple form and easy to understand. Because I'm taken aback, by the way, taken aback in a sense that I thought you would have just directly advised him to establish a War Crimes Code. All the recommendations I read, there's nothing that I talk about War Crimes Code thing, establishing War Crimes Code, but talking about also reviewing, investigating the entire report. Do you know how long that's going to take? Is that a delay tactic on the part of the Liberian Senate? But let's hear from you. Call us on those numbers: 0777 777 107, 0777 221 223, 0777 777 107, 0777 221 223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this afternoon. You're listening to Nothing to Hide on Sky 107.1. My name is Matthias Labindi. Let's hear from you now. Call us on those numbers: 0777 777 107, 0777 Uh, 107. Let's hear from this person. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Matthias.
Let's hear you, sir.
My name is David E. Harris, now call from Brown and Randall Street.
Mr. Harris, go ahead.
Yeah, Matthias, thank you for all of your analysis. But my thing here is, since September 2019, the president wrote that communication. Why now? So if a congressional hearing in the U.S. we're not going to come up, those guys in the Senate we're not going to come up with it. I think, Matthias, I think they got something funny story about the whole thing. For now, from my view, we don't want no extra code. We want the war and economic crime code to be established for people who committed mayhem against the Liberian people and economic crime to account for them. Thank you this afternoon.
Thank you for your contribution as well. Let's hear you two call us on those numbers. 07777 107 221 223 221 223. Let's hear from this person. Good afternoon. Okay, that person left the line, but call us on those numbers. 777 221 223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate. The Liberian Senate is advising the president to not go directly with the establishment of War Crimes Code, but instead Transitional Justice Commission that will investigate the entire TRC report and further recommended, the Senate further recommended that the president should do an official apology, render an official apology to victims. What is that? How, I don't know what that means. Render an official apology. The president, his voice, is he God? Is he an angel that when he apologizes to the Liberian people for their loved ones that died during the 14 years of civil crisis, meaning their hearts are going to be consoled by, by his apology? Or he's the man with the calmest voice in the world that when he speaks, people's hearts go cold. He's the man with the finest words, the sweetest words, that when he apologizes to a family that lost a breadwinner, that lost about 15, 20 persons, they're going to forgive. They're going to forget. Let's hear from this person. Hello?
Yeah, hello, Matthias.
Good afternoon. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Lamini Kemoka, calling from Jordan Street at my workshop.
Go ahead, sir.
Matthias, it's not only a delayed taxes, but also scared taxes,
What do you mean?
They corrupt Senate that work. The people. I don't really blame the Senate. I've been a president. The president came in a house by the campaign measure that he made. He said to the people that you bring war crime for. Anybody who is serious about a plan, they will not come out to say advise me because they already have the plan of establishing war crime code. But let me tell you this. The president cannot deceive us. We will not take that deceive. Honestly. When heart is broken and shattered into pieces, bro, nothing else leaves but the sad taste of deceit and vanquish. But we will not take that, honestly. We will not take deceit. The president is not going to fool us. We need a war crime code. When the president wanted cabinet general in government, what they do, Matthias? He pressed the red button on the cabinet general move on in government. The president has control of the Senate, but the president do not want to take action in that looking for loophole, to escape. In loophole in a system to escape the excuse that he gave it because the day that they will come when the people will be pressuring rising. So the people will not be talking to him, will be talking to the Senate, but we are not stupid.
Okay.
We get sent.
Thank you. Let's move on. Let's move on. Thanks for your contribution. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right, that person left the line, but you two can do the same. Call us on the numbers 07777 221 are the numbers you can call us on to participate. You can also join us on WhatsApp and IMO if you're there watching us live anywhere around the world. We are also on YouTube on Sky FM and TV Liberia on YouTube. Facebook is Sky Communications Liberia, and you'll be live, and participate in the program by calling us on those numbers. So you listen to a few of the callers. Let's hear from this person. Hello. Hello. All right. Let's move on to another person. Call us on the numbers 0777 777 107 221 223. Hello. Good afternoon. All right. Okay. But the recommendations are really, really interesting. Initially when the war ended, we started this Palava hot thing. I remember there was this Talking Drum studio program. Otelo Yasia was on it. Then there were many times where comedians had to visit communities. Okay, let's talk to this person. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Let's hear you.
I'm George, and I call you from Brooklyn.
George, go ahead.
Matthias, the communication from it kind of contradicting. Now you have just read that they are asking to accuse men. Is trying with the or report. Now they will have a report that is requesting the president to set up the committee to investigate the TRC. All people sign and other people. Let's say, for example, it said that everybody can agree. People always have this opinion. So when it comes to a committee or a position that was established to put a report, you are saying that one other deny agree. So they're trying to tell us that the committee that all result that the Supreme Court in the Supreme Court decided that the result cannot go for. But not everybody that agree. The left or cabinet general did not agree. Let the left or Dr. Paul correct, and I also agree. What the majority agree. What was insurance was equal. What will you say go and go insurance was in the TRC for the central committee to investigate the TRC. They are trying to make more of time with days and number. What would be established? What not that people. That's what's coming for some of them. But some of them know that the signal that abroad that this will come. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your contribution on the program this afternoon, my brother. Let's hear from this other person. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chief.
Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, man, you like my money for now.
Sorry about that. Let's hear you.
Anyway, I'm Mervyn Brown, calling from Benin City.
Mervyn, go ahead.
Actually, I want to thank you on a topic on a discussion after. My brother, they were the 40 years country. Some of us were the man. The president told yesterday that he wanted to work campus. He had to do a good project. Some of us were happy. In Kino Power today, he had made it a very good school. There's a point some of us. But I appeal to you, let him take it serious. Because some of us, when it comes to protest, we put outside the front page. They will not care about people that go pray, or someone enjoying, some of us will suffer in my head. Talking the middle leg. So I appeal to the president. I beg you, please, take it serious. We need work council. Economic council to be the point. So thank you for the time.
Thank you. But the senators are saying that there's no need for us to establish an economic crimes code. Our courts can prosecute corruption. So if someone steals and the person is taking a court, the person will be prosecuted. So why should we have another economic crimes code, another code exclusively, dubbed economic crimes code, when our court here can already prosecute corruption? So that's the advice, and the president maybe will act on this. And one person raised a concern. David Harris says something that's very interesting, right? That since September 2019, let's hear from this person. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, actually, no one wanted to call about continue about why you said it's sending us saying that the president should organize a committee to have
what is your name?
Investigation. Okay, sorry, I'm Douglas Marshall. I'm calling for 11th Street.
Go ahead.
Yeah. What if they see that the government in power can prosecute people? They will take action against the president. What's about the 16 billion? What's about the auditor that they killed their case? What's about the money that they get? The people get stole all the time. All the things that have been a genetic case. Do we ever get any result of it? So please beg in the president, if he wants for go for the 2023, the second term, he better allow the American people to establish the war crime code in the country. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I'm contribution there.
Thanks for the contribution on the program. Let's hear from this other person. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Pele, let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, this is John Pele from somewhere in Chapel.
Go ahead.
It's unfortunate that you could not get Mr. Verdict.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask him, maybe it would help me, one of you to ask him. The commission, right? Was there a law that says that if you have two commissioners descending, can the decision of the other become final? That's the question I wanted to have asked him. On the issue with the National Legislature, I think for me, I want to applaud our elders, in my view. They are doing extremely well when it comes to the issue of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. So, our history, our situation is not unique as other countries' situation. The war that was fought in this country, it was almost like a tribal war. We don't want to have a memory of what happened. We don't want people to come and say that, oh, people are after my child or they are after this other child, after the other group of people. So, I think there's a need that the recommendation from the National Legislature, that is the Senate, told the president needs to look at it keenly and let Paul Labrador forward, and not to put the interest of certain group of people outside of Labrador forward.
Mr. Pele,
so in my view,
Mr. Pele,
yeah.
What is the president's apology going to do to those who, or for those who are victims of the civil crisis?
The last time I was listening to BBC, and the German chancellor, right, she apologized to the world on behalf of the action of Germany, more especially towards the Jewish people, right? That apology.
Oh, Mr. John T. Pele left the line. So the last paragraph in this article, the last recommendation from the, I don't know whether it's in order of importance. That's how they position it. But it says the president is also advised to, in line with the recommendation, the TRC recommendations, offer an official apology on behalf of the state, to the thousands of victims and the Liberian people in general for its role in the long conflict and for the injuries and losses suffered by individuals and communities as consequences of the civil crisis. So that recommendation there is one recommendation also from the Liberian Senate, that the president should render an apology. Let's hear from this person. Hello. All right. That person left the line. So, recommendations are long. Another one, there should also be, I think I like this one. The recommendations also call on the Liberian government to establish a reparation trust fund. A trust fund said this would be used for restoring victims and communities worst affected by the conflict. So, trust fund, of course, you know what that is. So, resource that what's going to be generated going to help to at least restore victims and communities worst affected by the conflict. It's not to give you back your relatives. It's not to give you something that will match the worth of your relative. Let's hear from this person. Hello.
Matthias.
Fine, thank you. Let's hear you.
Well, you tell by not well. This is Prince Egypt.
Okay, Prince Broderick.
Yeah, Matthias.
I'm so sorry that your voice is sounding like that.
Okay, well, that lie. The Bible says there is time for joy. There is time seeking for weeping and merrymaking. Time for everything. But I didn't listen even to her now well. I didn't want to say. I will ask the question. Why in this country and most of the African leaders, why they can learn from the past presidents? Why? Because I saw when the American people were talking to him that he should leave, they have a place prepared for him to leave this country. And he said he cannot leave the soldiers around. He will die with them. And what happened at last? Prince Johnson caught him and tied him. He started appealing. Yeah, man. Prince, you can't listen to me small, man. Look, I am pleading to the president of this nation, His Excellency George Manabuya. Do not allow someone to fool you. And at the end of the day, you start saying, hey, Liberian people, you please feel sorry for me. The only thing I expect from you is to sign this particular paper and let it go home. The people that tell you say it's not necessary that only thing should see on that thing, how they come to move forward and whatnot, they like you. They don't like you one bit. Look, if you love Prince Broderick and you know you're electrician and you see me barefooted, or I will choose sneakers that have no rubber underneath it. The plier I using is insulated, no rubber on it. You will tell me, Broderick, please do not go there and temper with that. So I'm begging the president of this nation, please, let you ask God for direction and do the things that right. That you will not get into problem tomorrow. Thank you, Prince Broderick.
Okay. Mr. Broderick, I wish you a speedy recovery. Let's hear from this other person. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Nakaba and I join you from Canada.
Go ahead.
Yeah. My brother, you see the issue of the war crime code issue. I can remember from 2008 to 2018, 10 years. This issue has been on board since 2008. I don't know the Liberian people, what's the problem? And people are saying the president should be the one to do this, to do that. This is the democratic form of government. We have the representatives, we have the senators in the House of Parliament. Now, since 2008 to 2017, before the senators of President Weah, they particular TRC people have been on board. The Liberian people in OA. Why is it this time around? We, the Liberian people, trying to country together from the Civil War, at least so that we can compare our Broad Street with other countries' Broad Street. They are talking about war crime court. We are not against the war crime court, but the paramount issue we have now is how to come together as Liberians to be united, to develop our country, to be able to come together as one. But you talking about establishing war crime court, our constitution provides that we can also establish another court. We can establish something like a fast track court, and we can monitor it. Our government can implement that, and we will get our security to maintain that particular code. But you bring war crime code now, we will get people to hire expatriates from other countries to be here, to be investigating people. How much you get to pay international lawyer without border to monitor the particular war crime code? We have our own justice system here. People complain about it. You think if somebody come from Ghana to kind of run decision in Liberia may believe that decision is good for him? But people, the only thing we want for this country is peace and unity. So the best thing we can do now is to put him behind President Weah to make sure that there will be another court that will be established. Now, was just the president saying, okay, the lawmakers are saying we are calling on the president to reform the justice system and another thing, so that we can work within that domain. But establishing war crime court, I don't think it will be the way forward for us now. I don't think people can be threatening the president.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thanks for your contribution. Let's hear from this other person on overseas. Hello.
Good afternoon, Matthias.
Good afternoon. Let's hear you.
Thank you for the platform. I'm Emmanuel M. Tupac. Matthias, I hear myself by the voice bouncing back to me.
I think it's a technological something here. So I think you just have to manage it that way. You're the only person raising that concern, by the way.
No, because I'm calling another number.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm Emmanuel M. Tupac. I call you for an intellectual class ambassador into community.
Go ahead.
Let me appreciate the Liberian Senate for the recent report you just submitted to the President of Liberia. You know, our government needs to implement the TRC report. You know, those guys from the diaspora and from opposition camp that are pushing the World Economic Crimes Code, they are trying to make this look as if they are witch-hunting people, especially when I listen to the former chairman for the TRC in presence of Chirunji very senior. You know, you can have someone who is against the government, like Honorable Costa, then the U.S. Congress uses such a person to testify against a government that he's fully against. But however, that is not our fight. The Liberian people at this moment, I don't think World Economic Crime Code is their primary objective. We have gone through many years since the civil crisis in our country, and we have been trying to mend the peace in this country. Even the former president, Salif, she could not establish the World Economic Crime Code, and she alluded to it that she failed to unite the people of Liberia. So President Weah has been elected on the mantle of change, and this change is unity and development. So
this question.
The other guy from the other side, I believe, is a
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. You talk about people who are against the government. They are the one pushing for the World Crimes Code. What exactly is the point? Are you concerned about who's calling for the World Crimes Code or the significance of establishing the code?
Everyone else are calling for the War and Economic Crime Code. But then certain guys are making government people or government sympathizers look as if they have done worse in this country, and the government.
But that should not be a worry, because the thing about it is that you just wait when the courts are established. Whoever that is found culpable of any crime will be prosecuted. So whether someone look at you in a certain way, once you know that you've done nothing wrong, there's no need for you to jitter about
Not me specifically.
I know I'm not also referring to you personally. The people that they're looking at.
You. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Thanks for your contribution, my brother. Let's hear from this other person.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Matthias.
Let's hear you, Cape.
Yeah, this is Samuel Cape calling for Central People.
Go ahead.
You see, Matthias, those who are facilitating the establishment of the World Crime Code are politically motivated. More especially America, that allow dissidents. Because I can remember Castro in America and Salim was in America, they all love it very strongly to see people taken out of jail. I mean, they allow all these things to happen to us as Liberians. We suffer for so many years. And now they are coming to pour in another problem to say World Crime Code. After we are living in peace for a number of years. So for me, personally, I don't like the World Crime Code. Because there are a lot of things that we are doing in this country, and we keep living with a peace, and we are living in peace. Life is going. Because even if you bring World Crime Code there, and get anybody here, I mean, what would that do? I mean, what's the solution? Without put food on my table? I can remember they never enter my village and kill all the cattle. Can you imagine? Kill all the cattle, my father cattle were involved. But all these things are bad ones. They already over. And now living peace instead of getting into political motivation. Because the opposition, can you imagine Madam Sally was here? If you were here and she refused, so I don't think that's a particular tax. But President, we are coming to bring peace to our country. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cape. I just want to give you, those of you who are watching there, let's take a look at some video footages of the Civil War briefly. So we're just going to play that for you briefly so you can take a look at it. But in the meantime, we have a few minutes to go. At least with that, we just want to say you're listening to Nothing to Hide on Sky 107.1. My name is Matthias Labindi, and we're here again today bringing you your favorite program. Your favorite, by the way, that's not for me to determine. So let's hear you call us on those numbers: 077777107, 07777221223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this afternoon. My name is Matthias Labindi. We are looking at the recommendations provided by the Liberian Senate to the president. Remember, the president wrote the Liberian Senate and requested that he be advised how he can go about the establishment of the court. Let's hear from this person. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon. Let's hear you.
Yes, my name is Miller, and I'm calling you from Camp Johnson Road.
Please go ahead.
My own contribution to this show, I just want to let you know that I don't understand why you people trying to force the president to sign war crime code.
When you say you people trying to force the president to sign to the war crimes code, what do you mean?
Meaning that everybody to the end, everybody that is implementing it, they are all the people after you people.
Okay.
Because it make no sense to with president sign war crime code. Where will it benefit us? Nothing. Inside is not benefit. They try to pressurize the president to see how best we can.
All right. Thanks for your contribution on the program, but anyway, people take things from different angles, and that's how they look at it and discuss them. I don't think anybody hit the president. That's why they're calling for the war. Behind why mobile model other people. That's what they did. But today, there's another thing. It's just a sincere call. Let's hear from this person. Hello.
Matthias.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, I want to say this.
Bridget?
No Liberians love the president more than the other. I hearing people talking, or other people hate the president. No. Why some of us misleading the president? And you know what I hate? Some of the guys that come here and say these things and whatnot. It's very difficult for them to even get $10 for renum to purchase. And Matthias,
but that is
women was raped, women's stomach was flashed off to say Betty or this is a boy or a girl, or no, that twins, no. And I mean, all these things happen. Those who are talking these things, they wasn't affected from the war. They didn't use medicine. They didn't see how they brutalize women and men or whatnot. I'm a living witness and large lot of rededicated and also with my question in life. So if you love Prince Broderick, you will not mislead him.
Thank you, Mr. Broderick. Thank you, Mr. Broderick. Let's move on to this other person. Hello. Good afternoon. All right, call us on those numbers: 077777107, 07777221223. The numbers you can call. It seems we're not going to be able to play you that video today, so we just have to. All right, do we have it ready? Let's quickly get just maybe tomorrow we're going to play you that. It's about 10 minutes, but it's just a teaser. So we're going to play fully tomorrow. But let's take a look at it. All right. Yeah, so certainly we're going to play it, entirely tomorrow. So let's just leave that. It seems there's a little problem there with the sound right now. Let me look at a few comments here. Action from those of you who are watching there on social media. And what can be really interesting to me is that most of the time you see we have somebody on the line. Most of the time you see that people will be arguing among themselves while they're watching, and because someone is commenting this way, another person is that, just like the way you two, when you call, you disagree with that person. And so let's hear from this person. Hello. Yes, sir.
Yeah, David, you have it back on the line.
30 seconds.
We know you don't want to control the platform. You will not respond to those that are calling and saying things that are into the street.
In fact, the Constitution was written in Washington and Monrovia. The
Oh, David, I'm sorry that you left the line. I don't know what happened, but we have just a few minutes to go now. We're not taking any more calls. And Bill Carlson said George Weah thinks that the people are just stupid because they voted for him. Put hands behind George Weah to steal, rape, and kill more people, more poor people. Another, no, we're not going to read that. Prince Evans is watching. Rogards D. Duarta is watching. And Clarence Worsing is watching. Patrick Kimbakola is watching. And Emmanuel Saki, Mary Brown, Rahim Eli is watching as well. My name is Matthias Labindi. Thanks for all of you, or thanks to all of you who took off time to participate in the program this afternoon. And those of you who calling, also want to thank you. What we're going to be doing now is that sometime we're going to be coming back with some of these documentaries. There's a documentary we have here, and it's already saved. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to play that for you. You're going to listen to it. It's something that has Nathan Bly in it, and it's titled Liberia, Cannibal Warlords. My name is Matthias. Have yourselves a wonderful time.